What do women regret most about divorce? I find that women regret most about divorce that they didn't do it sooner. They hung in there. They stayed because they thought it was better for the children. They didn't want to deal with the financial repercussions, and they just didn't have the time or the emotional energy to do it. And guess what? They tell me then they wasted many good years of their lives sticking it out. So in contrast to what men regret most, women regret most not doing it sooner.
When it comes to divorce, people always say women are quick to initiate divorce. People always say women are the ones that initiate divorce. So if somebody initiates divorce, does it mean that the person doesn't want to make things work? Or the person doesn't want to try so hard so that things will work out? Okay, let's assume you initiated the divorce and divorce happened and all of that. What is women most regret about divorce? I saw this woman asking this question and I saw some stitches on this video. And what do you think women regret most when they divorce? For me, I feel like, just as she said in the video, I'm going to read a quick clip for you all to watch. I feel like, yes, most women, from stories I've read, from people's videos I've watched, most women tell you that they regret that they didn't leave earlier. Let me show you all some videos, and can you put your own thought down in the comment section while we watch the videos together, and I'll be back to share my thoughts at the end of the video.
What do women regret most about divorce? I find that women...
It's exactly what she says, that they didn't do it sooner. I don't know how TikTok does this, but I was literally preparing to do a video on this anyway. The lie that women are told that they will regret getting a divorce. I'm in a group with over 5,000 women, and somebody asked that question, do you regret getting a divorce? And every woman said, my only regret was that I didn't do it sooner. This is not to say divorce is easy or that it's an easy decision, but most women find that when they reach the point where they're ready to go, it's long past the point where they should have already gone. And all the reasons that they've told themselves they should stay don't matter as much once they make the choice to leave, because peace of mind is priceless. Health is wealth. Safety and security are supreme. And life is worth living.
What do women regret most about divorce?
How come 99.9% of the comments were that they should have done it sooner? I know for me that's the case, and I distinctly remember the day that I should have broken it off. So we were 12 years into the marriage, and he was being a jerk again, and I said, you know what? I've just realized you're never going to be happy. And so I'm done trying to make you happy. Like, I'm going to do my job 100%. I'm going to homeschool the kids, cook all the meals, do whatever, clean everything, take you to bed, because I was obligated per religion to take him to bed every night. But as far as you complaining about every little thing, I'm not going to be doing that. And then I spent the next 3 years telling him, you know, when you have 2 adults in the house, but they only function as one, because he was unemployed and he was staying home and I was doing daycare. And so I said, when you've got 2 adults in the house and they only function as one, one's not needed. 3 years of me saying that. And I finally was tired of it. I finally was like, okay, you can't even say thank you for all of the effort I'm putting forward. And I think part of the problem is this disconnect that men have, that they think that the job is easy for women. So like my ex used to say, well, it's easy for you. Or he'd say it's easy for that man. Because I would ask him, how come that man can work 40 hours a week? And he'd say, well, it's easy for him. It's not easy for me. So anyways, the point remains, like, I can even think back to when my eldest was 18 months old. The very first time that I kind of left him, tried to leave him, I tried to leave the house and he stood in front of the door, and I remember being terrified. And he eventually did give me the key to the car, and I went out and, you know, drove around with the baby for a while. But that was our first time we went to marital counseling. That's not to say that was the first time things were bad. Things were bad from the very beginning. But I should have, never married him. Definitely shouldn't have had a kid with him, and definitely should have left when my eldest was 18. My eldest is now 29, and my youngest is 15. So I am living this 15-year mistake still. It has been a long, long time. And so I'm telling you, if right now you're feeling like, maybe maybe things aren't going to get better. They're not going to get better. You should definitely take this lady's advice. Divorce sooner rather than later.
You don't know what my biggest regret of my divorce was? Letting the divorce dictate what I did for about the first 8 years when I started it. I literally let the court system, filings, the motions, the attorneys, the judge, my ex, all the bullshit associated with him, and everything wrapped up in the divorce. I let that shit consume me so fucking much. It is my number one regret. My self-esteem was so low during those first 8 years. I lived and breathed trying to kiss a man's ass who hated my guts, who was always going to hate me, just so I could come across that our co-parenting journey was okay when it really was not. It was a shamble. It was a shit show. And I literally tried everything I could to make it perfect for my kids, when in reality, I was only causing more problems because I was showing my kids that boundaries don't matter, self-worth wasn't important, and that I could just, let someone fuck me up with their words. Don't be me. Take care of yourself during this journey.
Want to know what nobody tells you about divorce? Is that once you get married and then you procreate and then you get divorced, that human will be in your life forever because you procreated with them. And then you get married again, and now that human will be in your new spouse's life forever because you procreated with them. No one tells you about that. I'm telling you now.
Something that I have never seen anyone talk about before that I want to talk about is the resentment that you can feel towards your partner that betrayed you. Obviously, okay, resentment for all of the things, but I'm talking specifically about resentment in them actually healing. My husband is one of the guys that was like, I will do anything. I'm actually so thankful that you found out because I've been hiding in shame and I want to come clean and I want to tell the truth and I want to be known. And he did all those things. And that's great. But there is part of me that is like, that's great. You're healing. You're processing all of this trauma. That's great. Meanwhile, you dumped all of the pain onto me. He's in therapy. He's doing workbooks. He's doing group work. He is digging into his feelings. He is processing things. He's writing letters to his family. Like, he is going hard in the healing process. And I'm doing my best too, but it seems like there is so much focus on the one with the addiction and not a whole lot for the partners that have been betrayed. And I'm so thankful, I am truly so thankful that there are resources for people that have court addictions, because it's finally being recognized. People are doing research on this. It's great that this is happening, and I'm so happy for him. But there's part of me that's like, hello, just kind of healing on my own over here. And I get it. I can get into therapy, but the therapist that I found for myself was wanting to work with him more than me. And he's like, you can come in and join in, but I'm one of those people that just knows, I'm so self-aware and I know a lot of the stuff already, that every therapist that I talk to kind of just dismisses me and is like, yeah, you got this. And I'm like, I'm sick of being strong, okay? I'm sick of having to work through all this pain when, obviously I didn't ask for any of this. Then I get to see my husband making all of these breakthroughs, changing his life, telling me how much his life is so much better without corn. And I am, again, happy for him. But I'm drowning most days. Drowning. I'm filled with anger and rage and confusion, and I'm just a mess a lot of the time. And I know I'm going to be okay long term, but it just sucks to see them doing so well after they literally ruined your life. And then you're supposed to just be with them and be happy for them while also dying on the inside. It's hard, and I just haven't seen anyone talk about it. So if you're feeling the same way as me, here we are.
Because of some people regrets about divorce, this is a lesson for you if you're in a relationship or you're in a marriage with a man and you're having so many issues. You're sticking by and saying that, maybe things will work out, or maybe it will get better, or maybe it's going to change and all of that. When I listen to people's story about divorce, they always say, I wish I left sooner. I wish I never had a second child. I wish I stopped at number one. I wish I left the very first red flag. I wished I didn't tolerate so many things. These are the things that these women come out to say. These women always come out to say things like this because they know that if they have left sooner, probably their life would have been better. But let's ask, why is it that women don't leave sooner? I feel like some women that don't leave sooner, number one is the fear of starting over, and also attachment problem. If you have attachment problem, like you are attached, imagine you being, some people will tell you, I have known this man all my life, or I knew him when I was a teenager, when I was 17 years old, and now I'm 35. That kind of relationship here, even if the person is not good to you, you always want to stick around because you're like, how do I start over? And you feel like you've known this person all your life, and to let the person out of your life is very difficult because you want to do this, you call the person, you want to, like, you are attached to the person. Something like that don't allow women to be quick to divorce. Another reason is some women feel like they can change their man, or their man can change eventually through prayers, or maybe one day something's going to touch his heart and it's going to change. But one thing I know is that a man is not going to change unless he wants to. There's no amount of prayer, there's no amount of things you want to do, there's no amount of attitude you want to bring up. If he's not going to change his ways, he's not going to change his ways. So there's some things that you've seen that you don't like and you keep complaining about. If you cannot handle it in the long term, it's better for you to leave earlier than to regret you did not leave earlier. Some women also use their children as an excuse. I don't want to go because of my children. I don't want another woman to take care of my children. I don't want to leave my children for only him because I don't trust him with the kids. I want a better life for my children. For women that cannot afford to provide for those children by themselves, they don't want to fight for custody, or some countries that you will never win because of that. And even if you win, if it doesn't give you the money, there's nothing you can do about it, right? Some women will tell you, I want my children to have a better life, so I don't want to leave because when I leave, they will not have a better life. Or I want my children to have a father figure, like I want them to be able to call somebody dad and have a normal, peaceful environment. I just feel like if you are on that level, you're just lying to yourself. That is what you're lying to yourself. You're in denial, because I saw a video of an adult lady talking about how mothers should just stop saying that they did not leave because of the children, because they never liked their dad. They never liked their dad. So if you have left because of us, it's going to be better because you're making it more difficult for us, because you staying doesn't make us like the man. So I feel like when women pick that particular reason, is because of their selfish reason. It's not always because of the children. They always just use it to lie. And I feel like even people around will tell you, oh, do you really want to divorce when you know you have kids with this person, and think about your children and all of that? That is emotional blackmail, and they always tell that to women, not men. And there's something people always say when a woman decides to divorce, is that you might not find another man like him, or you might not find any other person out there. But there's one thing I know: when a woman decides that it is over, like it's over and it is over, when she has decided and has gotten to that point, I feel like when she decides that she's done, she leaves, even when she has nothing, even when she doesn't have anybody to support her. I just feel like there's something that will just click. I just be like, there's a bell in the brain that just clicks and be like, you know what, get out of here, what are you doing here? And that's why most men just decide and just leave. It's not because they decided one day, it's because they've been thinking about it, they've thought about it. Does this make sense? Should I do this? They've think about the children. Some that have kids with the man, they think about the children, they think about their family, they think about so many things. And I feel like when a woman decides that she wants to leave, she's not doing it because she wants to meet another man. Maybe 5%. I'm just estimating. I don't know the accurate percentage. But for me, I just feel like from the videos and the experiences I've heard from people, I feel like just very little of women will tell you, I can't wait to find another man. Most women that have gotten to that stage and want to leave, they're not even after another man. They just want to go and enjoy themselves. They just want to go and live their truth and live their life and be happy without a man. And even when a man comes, so be it. That's why you see some people tell you, oh, this is me after 5 children and I remarried and I have a man that adores and cares for me and my children. Because most of the time, especially if you're not in search of something like that, you might eventually see. But I feel like when people say, oh, women, when you leave, you're not going to find anybody to marry you, do women actually, are they actually leaving because they're looking for another person to marry? What is your take on today's video? What do you think women regret most about divorce? Or do you think they regret or they don't? I feel like women don't regret. The only thing they regret is, I wish I left sooner. I wish I'd never even met him. Anyways, what is your take on today's video? Kindly share your thoughts down in the comment section. Respectfully, it's your girl Maya Davis, and don't forget to like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.